just when I can do it.
Yeah, so I've just put I've just remembered I haven't put the record on for you, so you can have the video. Okay, so how have you been getting on?
All right, I've actually stopped my antidepressants. I know. I'm really proud of myself.
You should be.
2.5 weeks now.
That is brilliant. So have you done that on your own?
Yeah. So I had, when I got prescribed them in October, they put me on 20. They weren't working because I was in a really bad place, so they put me up to 40.
I remember.
I took 40, but there were really bad side effects, if you remember. So I was back to 20, and then I think about a month and a half, I'd say, I did 10. But then I just decided one morning, I remembered what you were saying. It's just like a mask. It's like a plaster, and it doesn't actually fix you in the long run. It just covers stuff up, and I need to like face it full on. But I think I'm glad that I did take them because it helped me through the patch, and now I'm stronger.
It's like putting a plaster cast on, you know what I mean? You need that sometimes you do need that for a little while.
Yeah, but then not forever. So obviously, like, thank you for giving me that advice, because I think that really did set in my head. And yeah, I don't think I'd have been able to do it without what you said. So yeah.
Good. Okay. So what have you been practicing? If you think about what you do and how you've been, okay, let's talk about Mark first of all. Okay. How are we there? Because obviously if I go back and think through the sessions that we've had, I think it was probably on your second session or maybe your third, you actually said something like, you know, he's still saying what he says, but I'm not biting. And then it's not getting to me. It's Mark, and it's doing this. Last session, it was getting to you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the way I look at it, and he said to me yesterday, and I'm glad it was time to finish, because if it wasn't time to finish, I would have walked out and I would have gone home without explanation. Because he's so insensitive. And I just think, like, your reaction then to me saying I'm off my tablets, like, I don't expect a reaction like that, but like, you understand that that's not an easy step to take. My mom understands it, my partner understands it, like my best mate doesn't really understand it, but that's because she's still on him, and I think she gets a bit envious of the fact that she doesn't have the willpower yet to come off them. So I'll do all I can to help her, but you've got to help yourself in the same process.
You have,
but because obviously I had my week off, and then we're really busy at work. We're really, really busy. He said to me yesterday, I made him a coffee, but the coffee machine exploded all over me, and I was wearing a really nice leather dress, and so I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, angry, because obviously the coffee machine's just exploded all over me. And he was like, you okay, what's the matter? And I was like, yeah, coffee machine's just gone everywhere. So I cleaned it all up, and then I went into his office, and he was like, are you okay? I says, yeah. And he was like, no, are you okay? And I was like, yes, Mark, I'm fine. And then he was like, And I was like, what? And he said, are you still taking your tablets? And I went, actually, no, I'm not. And I was like expecting him to say, oh, well done, or oh, that's good. But he went, oh, I thought that might be the case. And I went, what do you mean? And he said, you seem really like erratic. And no, I don't, and I'm not, because I've asked my mom, I've asked my partner, I've asked my dad, but me and my dad's bugging me lately, but that's because he's working a lot and then he's a bit stressed, so I understand that. But like, the reaction to that is like almost like, well, you're not ready to come off your tablets, I think you're better on them. And it's like, everything he says, it's just judgmental, and I don't want to come to work and be judged. So it's the type of thing that makes me think, like, he promised me progression and I've not progressed. Still doing the thing I was doing 2.5 years ago. He doesn't support me. He says he cares, but clearly he doesn't, because if you care about someone, you don't want to hurt their feelings, and you wouldn't do it intentionally. So it's the type of thing that just make me think, like, do I want to move? Do I want to move on? And, you know, I will have a chat with him when he's a little less stressed. I don't want to do it yet because I know he's got a lot on his plate, and that proves that I'm a nice person. And, you know,
it does, yeah.
Like, that's the thing. I always think, like, well, I can tell that he's stressed. Maybe that's why he's saying what he's saying. Or like with my best mate, maybe they couldn't come off their tablets as easy, and so they're like jealous that I can and that I'm doing okay. And, like, I feel like I'm doing so much better. And yeah, I'm just gonna have a chat with him. And if he does say one more thing that is really insensitive, because I don't have to put up with it. No. Only human, and he is only my bill payer. He's not my friend. He's not my mom. He's not my dad. He's not my uncle. He's not.
Yeah.
But I have a problem where I care about people. But I'm finding lately, I'm not asking him how his weekend's gone. I'm not asking him if he's okay or if he needs help, because I don't care. And I don't want to be like that with somebody. So how can I work and respect somebody if I don't have that level of respect for them because they don't have it for me? So I'm finding that side of things a little bit hard. Obviously, I don't want to talk to him about it because he always just says that I'm overreacting or I've got the wrong end of the stick. And he called me a liar before, basically, in front of the whole team, which I'll never forget because I'm not a liar. Like, I don't lie. And so when somebody else who doesn't lie lies and then calls me a liar in the process, it's not settled right on me. So ever since then, you know, I don't know, I find it difficult to want to be there.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I get on with Jane great. I get on with Helen great. Obviously, Rachel and Kim, they're there whenever, so I don't get to see them as often. But yeah, I just feel like with Mark, I just don't think that he has the level of compassion that is required to understand me. I'm not an easy person, I understand that. And I've never been an easy person, but he understood that because when he interviewed me, I told him. I didn't say, I'm perfect and I'm not going to have mood swings. I said, like, I may be difficult to understand sometimes, but you'll always know where you stand, and that's the point. But yeah, I'm just getting a little bit annoyed with Mark because I wasn't expecting like a big party thrown and all that dramatic stuff. Just a simple, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you want. Like I told my brother, and his smile on his face was priceless because he cares about me and wants me to be okay without relying on a tablet. And you know, I can't remember what Helen's reaction was. Jane's reaction, I can't really remember. I think they're all pretty much similar. Just be careful. And it's like, I know me more than anyone, and if I wasn't ready to come off them, I wouldn't have come off them.
Yeah.
And I've got them, so I'm not stupid. If I want to go back on them, I still can. I've spoken to my doctors about it. I've had advice. You've obviously helped. You're not the reason I've come off them. I wanted to do it anyway, but your words were, they helped. But you know, I think Mark would have quite happily had me on them forever, because when I'm on them, I'm not me. I don't have opinions. I'm just, you know, yeah, whatever.
So that's it. That's
it's
wrong, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to be on tablets for other people. No. I'll be on them for me. And if I don't want to be on them and other people don't like it, well, I managed to get every single job I've ever gone for. I could do it again. I don't doubt myself in that respect. And he's only going to give me 2 years of experience, but after 2 years, he specifically said to me, where do you want to be in 2 years? Because we'll get you there. And I said, I want to be a property manager. So he thinks by putting assistant in front of my name, he's all like, oh yeah, well done, but I'm still doing the same job.
Yeah.
Still doing the same thing. In fact, you've took things off me, given it to someone else. So at the minute, I'm not enjoying work at all.
Yeah.
It's probably the only thing I'm not enjoying. I'm enjoying my home life. Me and Steve are really strong.
Good.
You know, walk out that door, I'm happy, but I'm happy until I cross the road and I get over there and I'm just like, right, here comes the shit. Yeah. And I don't like that. I've had that before and I don't want it, and I never thought I'd have it here, but I think Mark just doesn't, I don't think he respects me as much as he used to, and I'm not sure why that is.
No.
In me at my vulnerable state, and he knows that I'm not there anymore. The simple fact that I'm brushing my hair and that I've gone and had my hair dyed and that I'm putting makeup on and wearing clean clothes should be enough for him to know that I'm okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I wouldn't even bother washing my hair. I'd just stick it in a low ponytail because I didn't care.
Yeah.
But anyway, whereas now, you know, it's just one of them. Just not enjoying my job. I enjoy the job. I just feel like there's awkwardness. Like constantly being judged by the people that I've opened up to and trusted. It's hard to accept, but I have to. I can't change it.
And do you really think that you are being judged?
Yeah, only by Mark.
Yeah.
Helen hasn't judged me. I don't feel like Jane's judged me. Jane's very honest with me, but she says, like, I really don't want you to be offended. I know that sometimes things can be taken in a different way. And I've said things before and meant the complete opposite of what someone said. And then once I've explained it, it's like, they're like, oh, right, okay, I understand it now. But Jane understands me, so she explains it for me.
Mm.
Whereas Mark just judges me. And then I walk away feeling, who the fuck are you? You know, and I don't like feeling like that, especially about someone that I should and did have a good working relationship with.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It really is.
Mm.
Mark's a nice person, but he just doesn't have any compassion, or, you know, I don't want sympathy, I don't want empathy. I've never wanted any of that, and I never do, because I don't want to be treated different, but just don't treat me different.
Mm.
And that's all I ask. And that's not a lot to ask for. You know, people say to me, like, what do you do for a job? And I just say, I'll just admin. Because I'm not a property manager. I'm never going to be if I stay there. One thing I said to him on my interview was, I don't want to be in a dead-end job, and that's why I've come out. That's why I've looked for a job. And he's like, that's not going to be the case here. It's been 2 years and 3 months. I'm doing the exact same thing I was. He's not pushing me. He's not giving me extra tasks. He's not, you know, I don't go to meetings from the sites that I manage. I don't manage any sites, because if I managed them, I'd go to the meetings, I'd set the budget, I'd do what a property manager does. You know, I asked him if I could go through my level 3, and he was like, yeah, I don't feel like you're ready. I want you to put your full attention into it. Well, it's really odd, because while I was in my worst stage, which was September, October last year, was exactly when it took me 2 weeks to finish a whole year's course, and I passed every single level, and I wasn't doing very well, and I still did it. And he doesn't understand that. It's like, well, why are you not getting it? It baffles me, and I know it's because he don't have faith in me, and he don't want to put the time and effort into me. But don't lie to me, because I'm not stupid. I'm actually not stupid, and I can see exactly what's happening. And it does bug me, because I've wasted another 2 years of my life in a dead-end company. You know, Jane works 3 days a week, and I can almost guarantee she gets the same wage as me. I've been given a £1,000 pay rise in 2 years. Meanwhile, I've got my best mate who signs on, who gets £400 a month more than me, and I go to work every day.
Yeah.
Tease me off, and that's not her fault, and that's not Mark's fault. But even a property manager should get paid more than £20,000 a year. How am I supposed to live? You know, I can't do anything. And yeah, I smoke, but I smoke roll-ups. So that costs me £14 a week, if that. Probably £7 a week if I smoke less, which sometimes I do. But it's little things, you know. And if I dare say, when I said I was going for my CBT, it wasn't, oh, well done, that's a really exciting thing for you. You're finally putting your passion back into something. It's, well, how are you going to afford that?
Oh, God.
I don't know, Mark. Maybe if you paid me more, you wouldn't have to, you know, little things. And it gets me. Really gets me. I get judged for doing good things. I get judged for doing bad things. And it's all by Mark. Helen was like, that's fantastic. That's so fun. And Jane was like, oh, God, be careful. Mark was, well, how are you going to afford that? And he's like, first of all, it's got fuck all to do with you, what I spend my money on.
Absolutely.
Second of all, if you're worried about how I'm going to afford things, I don't know, maybe you could pay me a little bit more from all them new clients that you're getting, that I'm being really nice to and helping you get. Because honestly, like, I am the person that people ring up. If I answer the phone like, hello, Inspire, can I help? They're not going to want to come to us. They're not even going to want to talk to us.
No.
And that's what I don't think he realises. The more he pisses me off and pushes me away, the less interest I'm going to have in that job.
Yeah.
It's quite simple.
So, you know, from everything that you've said to me, you know, I think you're sort of there on making a decision as far as looking for something else.
It's just convenient here. Anything. If I was paid more, I'd put up with the shit. If I was paid more, it's quite simple. If I got paid more, I'd put up with the crap. But for the money that I'm on, I don't know if it's worth it. I could get more stacking shelves in Tesco. I don't want to go and stack shelves in Tesco, and I wouldn't, because I'm not that type of person. Someone would give me a funny look, and I'd be like, what are you looking at? You know, that's the type of person I am. I'm better suited in an office. but I don't think he realizes like what I am capable of. I think that's the main thing that's getting me down now. Like, I'm not down about my future because I'm trying to be positive, and I do see a future with Stu.
Yeah.
My past, I'm over how Dom treated me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm over that. Don't get me wrong, when I think about him, I think like, you know, we could have had it all, but I would never, and I'm so glad that it ended, because I'm now in like a relationship where little things like I can fart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like little things like, the first night I spent with him, I was like, I've got a stomach ache, and he was like, you okay? And I was like, no, not really. And he's like, why? And I just farted. And like most girls can't do that in front of their partner. My best friend's never farted in front of her husband. And it's like, for me, the fact that he just laughed it off, it was like, yeah, you're the one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Little things, and I feel so happy like in my relationship, and that's not the reason that I'm out of where I'm at. He's not the reason I've come off my tablets.
No.
And I hadn't told him until, I think I told him yesterday. Yeah, I told him yesterday. I told my mum, and she was like, I'm really proud of you, and she actually nearly cried. No, I feel like crying now. And then I went to tell my dad, but he didn't have time for me because he's busy. You know, I might be 27, but I'm still his kid. I'm still a baby.
Absolutely, you always are. Yeah, you always will be.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he's just busy, and I understand that. Whereas 2 months ago, I'd have thought maybe he doesn't want to talk to me because I'm a horrible person, or maybe.
Well, that's real progress, Lexi.
I see that. I see that now.
Yeah.
Like even if no one else is proud of me, I'm proud of me, and ultimately, that's all that really matters. And I really, looking back to, I mean, if the first call we ever had was recorded, I'd like to watch it, because it, you know, I'd probably watch it and cry at how different I was. And it's not even been that long. 100%. If anyone ever said to me I'm struggling, I'd be like, right, here's a contact number, get in touch, and I'd give them your number straight away, like straight, without a shadow of a doubt. It's like,
good.
You have helped me. You really have. You don't judge me. You don't, you know, if I forget things or I remember too much of one thing, you don't. Well, you're not allowed to judge people. I get that, but you probably, even if you do judge me, you don't tell me, so that's fine.
Well, the thing is, I really don't judge, because you know that's one of the biggest that's one of the biggest pains that all the people I support have, is that fear of judgment, you know, and the biggest critic that you have already is yourself. So, you know, to have the thought that someone else could be judging you, and someone who's supporting you could be judging you. That's why I do get really, really sad when I hear everything you say about Mark, because, you know, I thought the fact that he'd contacted me to say, I want to support Lexi and I want to pay for her to have sessions with you, I thought, wow, I don't know many bosses that would do that. Do you know what I mean? Genuinely, I don't.
No, and I don't.
And then you get the other side of the coin, don't you?
Yeah, but there's 3 sides to every story, isn't there? You can guarantee he'd tell you a completely different scale of it.
Yeah.
And I know he's not doing it on purpose. I know he's not maliciously making it obvious that he's judging me, but how I feel with the things that he said about, you know, you choose to be depressed, you choose that way, and it's like, I didn't wake up one morning and think, do you know what, I'm just going to decide that I don't want to be here anymore, that I'm not going to bother with my mini club, and I don't give a shit about my friends, and I'm going to break it with my boyfriend just because it's fun. You know, I didn't think that. It was a long and dark time, and I don't want to go back there, and that's why I've come off the tablets. And if I need to go back on them, I don't class that as failure. I class it as another little page in the book.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way to not go back on the tablets when things are tough is to make sure the things that I've given you so far, and you can continue to practice, you practice.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. And obviously what I'm going to do now is, because you haven't had, well, no, you've now got the emails, which is great.
Yeah.
So you've got those, but if I just share my screen a second and show you. So what I've done is, every session that you've had, apart from the initial one, really, I've put a PDF document together for you. So can you see the screen? Okay, so what you've got is you've got a PDF of each session, and the sessions give you all the info, all right, and all the stuff that we've actually discussed. So again, it's you've got it as a document that you can go back to, you can read it whenever you need to. And of course, I've just shown you that it goes through the Magnificent Seven, so it gives you all of those. And then on the actual documents themselves, you can see that there's a quick link, and that will immediately take you to once it's opened it. There you go.
So this is
yes, there's me.
There's your pink hair.
Me and my pink hair. I know. So it's really easy for you to navigate.
That's brilliant.
Okay. So you've got everything there. You've got all the Magnificent Seven really explained, why it works, which, you know, all the rest of it, the havening, the let's explore, the heart presence, all the backup information behind it all. The play practice, all the backup information for that, and I've also sent you the audios via email as well, so you've got those to follow. So there's loads and loads of stuff that you can get your teeth into there. Obviously your band-aids,
they helped
massively.
They really did.
So that's your first session, and then session 2, we've got what I did with session 2 was actually I think it was a telephone call. It was. So this was one where it was 40 minutes on the phone, you and me talking and chatting. So what I did was I've actually done a transcript of that session, so you can see it's got me, it's got you, it's got me, it's got you. So it's our conversation basically. So all transcript. And again, as you said, it would be really good for me to go back and sort of, you know, look at my progress and see and remind yourself of everything that you have done already. So, you know, that was that one. And then
that's brilliant.
And also there is obviously the videos of the actual sessions. So session 3, just a recap again on all the stuff that we covered, and, you know, things like, I'm just trying to think. It's me sharing my top 10. I was trying to think, why have I got writing Donna and blooming I've realized what it is now. And then session 4, you see the stuff that we've covered. So you've got it all as PDF documents for you. Remember we talked about the brain and the harm, how it sort of evolved over those, you know, the lizard, the monkey and all the rest of it. So it helps you to really understand it all. So you've got those now, all right? I would suggest, if you can, if you've got a printer at work, I would get...
Just thinking that to print everything off.
Put
arch lever and have it right by my bed, probably.
You've got it, because it's a great that then you've got like this, because that's what I'll take the screen off share, stop share. So there they are, look, you see. So you've got those, as you say, you could put them into a folder and look how much you've got, you know, there's just loads and loads of stuff. So I think the main thing is making sure that even though you might be feeling okay, all right,
don't forget that.
Keep practicing, keep doing the things. Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, so on Facebook I have just reappeared. Because I've basically been so busy that I haven't done any social media for a long time. Are you still there?
Yeah, I've just gone onto Facebook to see if I can find you.
Oh right, okay. So I am obviously Jules Mitchell on Facebook. And let me just see what if I could. What are you on on Facebook?
Lexie, spelled Lexie, and then Weston.
I've been spelling your name wrong.
No, it's LEXXIE, but Facebook won't let me put 2 X's.
Right, like Lexi what?
Weston, WESTON.
Let's see.
And my profile picture should be me and Stu.
With a car?
With my Mini.
The grey one? Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, I've added you.
Okay, fab.
Right.
Oh. I've confirmed.
Right, so if you just go on to me for a minute, just go on to my feed.
Yeah.
What you'll see is there's a load of videos on my feed now.
Oh yeah.
Did you say it says it's day 9, it's day 8?
Even though I thought it was day 8, yeah.
Oh, I'm not recording it again, for goodness sake. So what I've done is I'm doing, if you scroll down, you'll see that I'm now 4 days into sharing my view from the bridge, 30 days to bloom in June.
Okay.
So I'm actually doing a 30-day challenge. It's not a challenge, it's just basically me sharing a 2-minute video every day that helps people to focus their intention and their purpose every day. Okay, and each day has its own special intention. So Mondays are Make a Difference Mondays, so they're my Mad Mondays, and on Mondays it's about what can you do to make a difference to somebody else.
That you do.
Yeah, so like a random act of kindness type of thing. So we all, you do lots of things to help others, but this could be a stranger, it could be and I give you, and basically what I'm doing throughout the month is I'm giving you ideas about what you could do, you know what I mean, to help you do that. And obviously what that does is when you're doing something specifically for somebody else, especially a stranger, it actually gives you a massive boost of,
It really does. I couldn't agree more.
yeah, real feel good chemicals in your body.
There was a man struggling and I walked him home, and then I was in I've done it twice actually. I've done it in Iceland and Lidl. There's a man in front of me. No, he was behind me. Yeah, he was behind me, and he only had like 15 things on his trolley, but you could tell that he was a man that lived on his own just by what he'd bought on his shopping.
Yeah.
And about 18 quid, but I was like, I waited, and then everything was scanned through, and then I put my card on, and he was like, well, what are you doing? And I said, I'd like to pay for your shopping. And I didn't have much money at the time, but I just really felt like I wanted to do something nice, and that was all I could think of at the time because I was there. And he had like a tear in his eye, but then I felt absolutely amazing then for the next few days. Like, I just felt amazing, and like I was hoping that, when my mom's old or if my dad's old and they're on their own, that some random young person would do that for them.
You've got it, absolutely. And there is
boost today. Yeah, it really does.
There's a brilliant book if you love kindness things, which you do. There's a guy called David Hamilton. I'll write it on my list for you so I don't forget. David Hamilton, and basically David Hamilton, I've trained with this guy, I've done a lot of work with him. He's a Scottish guy. For me at my age, he's an absolute dish. He's just gorgeous, and so going to do training with him was really hard. He was just lovely. But he's written loads and loads of books about sort of like the science behind kindness and happiness and all of that sort of stuff. And he wrote a book called what was it called now? Something, I think it was like Why Kindness Matters or something like that. But he shares it from not only the practical side and the story side, but from the chemical side.
Right. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and I think you'd really like it. And he's done an updated version of it, I know, the last couple of years. So I'll send you a link to it because I think you'd really, really like that. So that's what Mondays are about. Tuesdays are called Tuesdays, CHOOSE. Okay, so Tuesdays are about you actually remembering that you choose your response. you choose the way you handle a situation when you are in a better state. Obviously, sometimes we can't, can we? When we're stuck in the mud and we're stuck in the quagmire, we are just reactive and there's just no choice element there. So that's why I need to obviously sort of teach how can we do that? What can we do to make it so that we've got more of a space between something happening and then how we respond to it, i.e. something that Mark says or does or looks at you in a certain way.
I just said I walked away.
Yeah, absolutely. So have I shared the quote with you, between stimulus and response there is a space? I don't think I have I?
No, it's not ringing any bells.
No, okay, so the quote goes like this: between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies your power to choose your response. Okay.
True.
So
Yeah.
it's a quote by Viktor Frankl, who wrote a fantastic book called Man's Search for Meaning. And Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor. And basically that quote in itself is like, in between stimulus, you know, the thing that happens, and response, how you respond to it, there is a space. And what you do every day about your own health, mental health, emotional health, to strengthen yourself actually stretches that space so that you're not reactive, you're not defensive, it floats over you. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the Magnificent Seven tools and techniques help to do that. They help to stretch that space. Okay, so havening will help, breathing techniques help, writing your gratitude list and being grateful helps. They all help to stretch that space. Can't hear you, Lex.
I don't know how I muted myself. Random. I used a breathing technique in Asda's earlier because I went in and I just all of a sudden felt really anxious that there's so many people around. And to be fair, it has been quite a while since I've actually been into a big shop.
Right.
Probably months. But I just wanted egg custards. I went, but Greg stopped selling them 2 years ago, so I went to Asda's to get some. And I just felt really just overwhelmed. It's the only word I can really use. Like I was just going to be sick, and I all of a sudden felt really hot. And so I stood there and I lent up these like little coal things for barbecues, and I closed my eyes and I just breathed for about 10 seconds. And then like I told myself, it's okay, you're only going to get egg custards and you really want an egg custard, so just go and get them and then you'll be outside. And then I did it, and I was really struggling to walk to the egg custards. But then when I got outside the shop, I was like, you know, because I used a technique that helped me, instead of just being all panicky and thinking, oh, I can't do it, I'll get some tomorrow, or I don't need them that bad. I just talked myself into just going and getting their custards, which is such a small thing, but it's such
not,
a big.
is it? It's not a small thing, it's a big thing. And the fact that you recognise that you did it as well, do you know what I mean? That in itself is a really big thing.
And I can cross the road without getting nervous.
I know. So you've got to remember to tick these things off, you know, because although you make progress, we all make progress, when things, you know, when the proverbial hits the fan, okay, you know, we can very quickly go back, we can very quickly get landed back on that old path. So we have to keep practicing. I was with a student yesterday, and she graduated from my big course that I do, and she graduated about 18 months ago. And she said to me, she's gone through some awful things with family members and all sorts of things since then, you know, so sort of circumstances haven't been brilliant, but she's still been great. And she came off her meds, and she's been on meds for 30 years. And
wow.
And yeah, a long time. And then she said to me yesterday, she said, you know, Jules, she said, I practice and I practice and I still practice, even though I'm feeling good. and I know I'm feeling good because I practice. And she said the one thing for her that she really notices when she doesn't practice is her gratitude. She said, if I don't practice, if I don't write my top 10 down every night, I notice the next day how different I feel.
That's an amazing that she's come off them after that long. That must have been so hard.
Yeah.
I've only been on them for 7 months, and I haven't found it hard, but I've panicked about what ifs and am I doing the right thing, and then it is what it is.
So that's what Tuesdays are. Okay, so I'm choosing my response, you know, and then what I'm doing in all the, so you can go back and watch the videos if you want to, and watch the posts and look at the posts. So what I'll do is each day, so like for Tuesdays, I will share a technique that you can help yourself with to stretch that space. Yeah. So Wednesdays are Welcome It In Wednesdays. Now, Welcome It In Wednesdays means that instead of doing your band-aids, instead of busying, avoiding, numbing and distracting, you actually welcome in the sensations, the feelings, the thoughts that you're having, okay? Because instead of resisting it all, we're now allowing it in, okay? Yeah. So obviously we've got the play practice, which I've given you over the last few weeks, where it's Yelp, where yes, I'm experiencing this. I'm accepting and allowing that I'm experienced this uncomfortable, horrible sensation, emotion. Then I lean into it. Where do I feel it in my body? What does it feel like? Is it tight? Is it constricted? Do I feel sick? All of that. And then the P is the pinpoint, the present sense that you feel at the end of it. So have you done the play practice much?
I have a few times, but it's being in a position where I feel like I need to.
Yes.
Again, you can't just do it on an everyday, you know, about to cross the road.
It is a responsive technique, absolutely.
But I found that as the weeks go on, the less I'm using it. Brilliant. But I'm still aware that it's something that I can use if I feel I need to.
That's brilliant. So, you know, it's there. It's something, hopefully it's a bit like somebody explained it to me the other day that they said it's like I've got a little Jules in my pocket that I could just pull out and she can tell me what to do.
No, I agree with that.
Oh, which I thought was great. Okay, so that's Wednesdays. Thursdays are Thankful Thursdays. Okay, so Thursdays are where if you don't do your top 10 every night, okay, and you don't practice gratitude, there's one day in the week that you can remember to do that, and that's on a Thursday. Okay. And you know, ideally what I will be sort of teaching in the posts, in the videos, is how you can really sort of amp up and what's the word I want to use to you now, I want your gratitude practice on a Thursday to be there's a word I want to use and it's gone out of my head. Obscene, that's the word I want to use. I mean an obscene amount of gratitude. I mean, you know, like beyond radical, just all the time. You know, think I'm grateful for the coffee. I'm grateful for my van at the moment. I'm grateful for this.
I'm not. I'm not grateful for my van. It doesn't work.
Oh, why not?
Injectors have gone. My Mini doesn't work either. So all good, but I'm not letting it get me down because it is what it is.
Wow. Well, you know, those are things that really could get you down.
Yeah, I would have. I'd have cried about it before, but now it's like can't change it. I'll just save up. I can still walk. I've got legs. I'm grateful that I've got legs. That's what. Yeah.
That's where you're going. That's where we're going.
Finding the positives in the negatives.
Absolutely. Then Friday is called Fear and Finish Friday. Now, basically, this is about what is fear? Well, fear is actually feeling. It's an acronym. Fear, feeling an emotion, and activating a reaction. That's what fear actually is. It's feeling emotion, activating a reaction. It's a reaction.
I didn't know that.
Your body, yeah. It's my acronym, but that's exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's exactly what is happening inside. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What then I'm teaching is how to change that acronym slightly, and you then change it to feeling, emotion, adapting, response. Okay, so again, it's like Tuesdays where we're stretching that space, but you're adapting that response. So instead of it being an automatic nervous system defense attack, numb out, whatever it's going to do in that situation, you can be aware that you're feeling worried, scared, frightened, anxious about something, and you can adapt the response to it. So you did that.
I didn't ask you.
Okay, that's exactly what you did. All right. And the finish part is because so often we don't do things because we are anxious and we are worried about them. Okay, so we don't have conversations with people we want to have conversations with. We don't pick up the phone. We don't fill out a job application. Whatever it is, there are things that we know we would like to do, but we stop ourselves. We have that little voice inside our head that says, no, you're not good enough, or
you're good enough. You can't do it.
Yours is getting better now.
No, it is. I know
it really, really is. So the finish part is saying, right, okay, today's the day. All right, I'm not going to take this into another week. I'm not going to take this into the weekend. I'm going to do this. So it's like, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Jump in.
Throughout the month of June, I will be sharing techniques that will give you more confidence, will give you the boost to be able to do these things. All right. So it's a really good one coming up tomorrow that I'll record. I basically go out at about 7 o'clock in the morning and record it in the woods down the road from where I live. And then Saturdays, you'll like Saturdays. Saturdays are seriously silly Saturdays.
I like Saturday.
Yeah, we'll like Saturdays. Okay, now the silly actually is a word that comes from a medieval word that was spelt Sealy, Sealy.
Okay.
So the word silly is derived from the word Sealy. Now, when we say silly, a lot of people don't like the word silly, do they? Because it's got a negative judgment.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but the word Sealy actually means to be blessed, to be joyful, and to be happy.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Blessed, joyful, and happy. So we all want to feel that, don't we? We all want to feel blessed and joyful and happy. So what I'm asking people to think about on Saturdays is, what am I doing today? Or what can I make happen today that's going to make me feel blessed, that's going to make me feel happy, that's going to bring some joy into my life? And the other part of Saturdays and the seriously silly is, you've got to schedule the silliness, you've got to schedule the happiness, you've got to schedule the joy. Because yes, we do have times where someone just rings us up and says, oh, do you want to go here? We've got tickets for this, do you want to come? And you end up having a brilliant day. That doesn't happen that often. So the rest of the time, we have to make it happen. And it's about, okay, look at my month. What have I got going on in June? Can I look at what's on? Go on Facebook, look at, what's on, look at what's going on around. And actually and it doesn't have to cost us money. There's things that we can do that doesn't cost us any money to do, but we've got to make these things happen. Okay. So that's Saturday. And then our final one, okay, is Sunday. And our Sunday is called self-care or self-love Sunday. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now the is on the, I should have done this, I should be doing that, I should be there now, I shouldn't feel this way, should. Okay. We need to shush the shoulds because they're getting us absolutely nowhere. You all right?
You know, this UPS driver, he was really close to the front of my van. I thought he was going to hit me. He was really close.
Oh gosh, please don't scratch on your van as well.
Honestly,
yeah.
like probably that far.
Okay. So you shush the shoulds, okay? Shush the shoulds. If you want to use a word, you could say could. I could be doing this.
Yeah, not I should be. Yeah.
Not a should. Okay. Should's really judgmental. Don't like it at all. All right. No. So that's the first part of it. The second part of it is you don't allow any CCJs on a Sunday. Now I'll explain what I mean by that. Do you know what a CCJ is?
Well, I know what counter court judgment is, but
so it's got a really negative thought, hasn't it? You know, oh, I don't want a CCJ. You know, they're very negative. Okay, my CCJ stand for this. First C is no criticism.
Okay.
No criticism of myself or of others. Okay. The second C is comparison.
I'm really bad at that. Yeah.
So on a Sunday, I am not allowed to compare how badly I'm doing compared to how well somebody else is doing. Yes. Or the way I look or anything. Yeah. No comparison is allowed. Okay. And your J is no judgment. No judgment.
Might get Mark involved on that day.
Would be lovely. Yeah. Share the videos and go look at this. Okay. So
you're not allowed to judge. Judging is bad. I used to judge people, but that was when I was younger. As you get older, you don't. Like, obviously there's some people that I judge, but then I was crossing the road, walking over here to my van, and there was this woman. I smiled at her. I was like, and she just looked so miserable.
Yeah.
And she might have just been a miserable person anyway. Like, generally just can't be happy. But then she could have had really bad news this morning. So instead of going, I just sort of went again at her, and like that could have brightened her day.
Exactly.
Even though like just a little smile from a stranger, but I could have judged her and thought, oh, you miserable bastard. And I did in my head, but then I thought, actually, Alex, you've been there. You crossed that road looking like a miserable sod.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So yeah. People have to sometimes be in a position to understand how it feels.
I think you're right there, you know, and that's that empathy thing, you know, but not the wishy-washy of, but just, you know, how it can feel now. You've been on that side, and so therefore you won't judge so quickly anymore for
I don't.
People who could be really suffering and struggling underneath. So those are the 7 days, and so I'm sharing 2-minute videos every morning around 8 o'clock, between 8 and 8:30. They'll just be on my feed. I haven't got a page or anything for them, you know. I'm just doing that at the moment. So if you've got anybody that you think is, you know, could benefit from watching them, just share them. Just share the posts. You know, your friend who's struggling, who's on meds, you know, it might help her.
Yeah, true. But I think she's quite happy being depressed, because she does nothing to help herself. She doesn't do anything to help herself. She was unhappy in a relationship and she cheated on her husband by sleeping with someone. And for me, I found that really, really, really hard to not speak to him about it. And as much as I do not like him, he still don't deserve that. But obviously it's not my place to say anything. But like, instead of sorting out a relationship, she just went and did something that is like unforgivable. And then she feels worse for it. But it's like, but you knew you would, and you still did it. So you are choosing. She's not choosing to be unhappy because mentally she's obviously not in a good place. But her decisions and the way that she works things is probably similar to that of what mine would have been last year. But obviously she doesn't seem to think there's anything wrong and that, you know, it's everyone else. Whereas me, I knew it was me. I knew I was the problem, and I was making everyone else around me miserable because I was miserable. And so like what Mark said, that's his opinion, and I don't care because I know it's not true.
Absolutely.
And if he wants to if he wants to judge me, judge me.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like me, sack me. I'll build a bridge and I'll get over it. You know what I mean?
There's another little wonderful refrain that you could use, and that's I'm choosing to not let that in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So if you think of your mind as a big circle, and your little stick body underneath it, and he's throwing stuff at you without realizing it. You know, you don't have to even say it out loud to him. You can just in your own head go, I'm choosing to not let that one in. I'm choosing.
That's what I did. That's what I did yesterday. Yeah. I did yesterday. Like, obviously, I was like, right, yeah. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Don't forget to lock me off. So I've left my keys at home, and I just walked out. I picked up my phone. I phoned my other half, and I was like, he's a fucking bell end, you know. He's like, obviously he's not, and I was just angry at him because I just think you're really insensitive.
Yeah.
But like, he's like, what's the matter? And I was like, fancy saying that? All he does is, you know, blah 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 blah, and it was being like nasty back. But then afterwards, I was like, anyway, I'm going home now, and I'm going to do this, that, and the rest. I'm going to chat to my mum and tell her that I didn't tell him this because I told my mum first. Like, tell her that I've come off my tablets, and like I do stupid things to try and cheer me up because I get happiness out of making people laugh. So I did. Yeah, last night I drew a monobrow on my eyebrows, and I went into the kitchen, and I was like, "What are you having for tea, Mum?" And she was like, "Probably a stir fry." And I was like, "Oh, can I have some?" And then I was like, and she just started to laugh. But then to me, that just made my absolute day because I'd made her laugh. Like, but I haven't done that for such a long time. Like, but now, like, my stupid side's coming back, and I do feel really like positive about just little things like that, like noticing that I can cross the road, noticing that I can be a prat and laugh about it and just laugh. And, you know, if people judge me. A bloke just walked past the van and he was absolutely staring at me. He probably thinks I'm talking to myself, but I know I'm not. I was walking back from Tesco with my egg custards like that, holding the egg custards, my phone in front of it, and I was waffling away, and all people coming the other way would just see me holding egg custards talking to the box. But obviously my phone was in front of it, and then I thought, I shouldn't, but then I thought, actually I'm gonna, because it'll make people laugh.
Yeah.
So like little things like that, and I know it would have made a few people chuckle, and that's why I carried on, because I'm not like a class clown, but I do like to make people laugh because it makes me feel happy then.
Yeah.
I like laughter is contagious. If someone else laughs, I laugh, even if I'm angry.
Do you know that that I am a trained laughter yoga teacher trainer?
Oh yeah. How do I join?
I don't run classes anymore, but yeah. So have you heard of laughter yoga?
Well, a little bit. I think
it's the weird one. It's very weird.
Where you literally just laugh and then other people start laughing.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
But then, because I've got a really geeky laugh and it's really loud, other people would be looking at me laughing at my laugh, and because they're laughing at me, I'd be laughing at them. Yeah. That sounds like just the best. Laughter is.
I'll tell you what, it is so good. I think one of the best ones I ever did. We did we've done a few flash mob laughter.
Brilliant.
But we did one on a train. So there was I think 3 of us, not in one sort of carriage.
Yeah.
And then we timed it sort of thing. So I'll start, and then you start, and literally, honestly, and I'm just sitting there, literally just pretending I'm on the way to work or whatever, and I just
I love it. I wish you videoed it. I just love it.
Of course, by the time we finished, everybody in the carriage
went into work in a good mood,
just laughing and just, what are we doing? There were people crying.
And I don't know what they're laughing at.
No idea.
I love that. I want to organise that. I'd love to do something like that.
Yeah.
Literally, I'd be so excited for it. But like another thing, I went to a mini event on Sunday, and that was the first one I've done in a long time.
Really?
And I couldn't go in my mini because it broke, and I was angry. But I thought, well, I'll just go in my van and I can still go. That's not gonna be an excuse for me to not go. It's not gonna be my reason to get out of it. But like, again, like putting my efforts into things as well, and like going back to my mini events and stuff, it just feels
that
That's good.
is it. So that is my sort of Saturdays are about that, aren't they? It doesn't have
Yeah.
to happen on a Saturday. It can happen. You can schedule stuff at any time, you know, for another day.
Yeah.
But it's actually really putting the, as you've just said, it's putting the effort into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, I feel I'm not 100%. There are days where I'm a bit like, I think, was it, no, not last night, the night before, just couldn't settle.
Yeah.
Couldn't settle. Overthinking, I don't even know what about. And then, yeah, like, I took it out on my other half, but he did some.
When you were doing that, just let me just, when you were stuck in the overthinking, okay, what you could have done in that moment is you could have used it, let's explore.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I'm just thinking, yeah.
I'm thinking, okay. It's a thought. Oh, there's another thought. And there's another thought. Okay. So just to put some distance between it.
Yeah. I never thought, well, at the time I never thought to do that. It was just, it's gonna take practice.
And that's the thing, it is. So what I want you to do now, we've got another session due. I forgot my diary. I think
we've only got one more, haven't we?
Yeah, we've only got one more, but you'll have all the stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? And
I can still like message you on Facebook or whatever if I want to have.
Of course you can, absolutely.
I don't expect like an hour chat, but if I just want like 5 minutes, then I can.
No, that's absolutely fine. So I
won't pest you.
I think the next one we've got in is something like, I can't remember, but I haven't got my diary, so I'll message you afterwards.
Yeah, fine.
But I've scheduled it in. I don't know if we talked about it or whether I decided that was going to be the date, but I'll message you. So what I want you to do now, between now and then, I want you to obviously read everything I've given you. Go back through it all, click on all the links, and watch all the videos and all the rest of it, and really be sure on all the practices I've given you. When would I use that? You know, could I use that every day? No, that's one that I just need to use when I'm overthinking. That's one night I need to use when I'm feeling down. That's when, you know, when I'm bored. So you've got, then what you will have is you will have this solid toolkit that will be able to use daily and in response to how you feel. And the more you get into the practice of that, and the more knowledge you've got, which you've got in those booklets, okay, the stronger you'll be. You'll be so much stronger. I mean, you're already so much stronger, but you keep going with it, and you know it'll only improve.
I feel like I'm really proud of myself that I've done it, not quickly, because it's not all about quickness, but I've really put my mind to it and like thought of the things that you've said. And so there will have been times where I could have used something, but I haven't, like the other night when I was just lay there just from 2 o'clock in the morning till 6, and then it was time to get up, and it was like, but then just remembering that they're there, because I'm used to not having anything there. I'm used to just dealing with it. Remembering that I have got them methods there.
Definitely. Okay, so I'll love you and leave you, and I will send over this recording to you. I will remember now that if I'm sending you an email, I'll send it via my iCloud.
They must just not like each other.
I don't know. I have to tell you one funny story. So my business name is The Big Happiness Experiment.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've had that business name for years and years and years. And I used to do an awful lot of schools work. I used to go into schools and do all, workshops and training and all that sort of stuff. But if you look at the word, The Big Happiness Experiment, in the middle of that is sex.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was blocked.
And penis.
Well, double box then, okay. So obviously, our website wasn't very well, it was blocked by a lot of people. So yeah.
That's really funny. Just so innocent, but just hilarious.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
You too.
And have a good read.
Yes.
Get that sorted.
Are you gonna send me the stuff that I can print today? Because I'll do it as soon as I get in the office, so I've got them then.
You've got them, haven't you?
Oh, I have. Well, I haven't looked at the attachments.
Just have a look. Just have a look now while you're on.
Oh, session 1, session 2, session 3, session 4. Yeah, I've got them. And then the audio files have come there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got them.
Awesome. All right, my friend. I will speak to you soon, and I'll confirm the date today. So you can let me know whether that's a possibility or not.
Yeah. I mean, it should be fine.
All right then.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, Lexi. Take care.
Later. And you. Bye bye. Bye bye.